Such an asshole. Like, why are you this, like, you without hearing him out, and you're this mad. And you're this mad that someone else did something.
Hey, Upper East Siders and all you scandal-loving listeners out there. You just tuned into the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, where the coffee is strong, the waffles are fresh, and the gossip is hotter than ever. My name is Leif, and I'm your seasoned Gossip Girl veteran.
And I'm Steve, the newbie, the greenhorn, I don't know, Leif, what are we calling me now in Season 3?
I'm not sure, but you'll never make it to the top if you keep walking around in Vanessa's serapes.
What, are you trying to get me to take it off?
Oh, yeah. About wow.
So here's the deal, folks. Leif has been watching Gossip Girl since it first aired, and I'm tuning in for the first time. And together, we're your dynamic duo, bringing you all the drama, romance, and sometimes questionable fashion choices of this iconic 2007 series.
Bring your magnifying glasses, because each week we're dissecting every juicy detail of the show, one episode at a time. We'll connect the dots, uncover those sneaky little Easter eggs, and of course serve up some piping hot behind-the-scenes tea. And expect some iconic moments from Phantom too, because what's a deep dive without a little drama?
And since we are all about inclusivity here at the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, there is always room for you at the Non-Judging Breakfast table. So go ahead and grab your mimosa, a cup of coffee, or visit Chuck's dealer, and let's go ahead and get into this.
Let's get into it. And so we got some cast news this week.
Yo, yeah?
Penn was cast in a new rom-com titled You Deserve Each Other.
Oh, that...
It is based on a book. Follows an engaged couple who have fallen out of love and try to sabotage each other into calling off the wedding, only to fall back in love in the process.
Congratulations.
Yes. But also co-starring Megan Fahey.
I know the name. I'm trying to place it.
Well, she was in White Lotus Season 2, but she also had a little guest spot in Gossip Girl earlier this season.
Right. Oh,
she was one of the many horrible receptionists on the show.
Yes, I remember, because I remember actually bringing her up and talking about her when she was on.
But yeah, she is really hot right now, because she's in just 2025, she's going to be in 3 movies and 5 TV episodes.
Yes, it seemed like White Lotus really just launched her. Because I remember seeing her on that episode of Gossip Girl where she was the receptionist when Chuck was trying to do the photograph thing. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I saw her being like, I know her from somewhere, and looking her up and finally seeing that she was in White Lotus. She is also in a movie called My Monster or Your Monster. Pronoun monster, that my daughter and I watched with Robin, and Emily and I love that movie, and she's really fun in it, but we absolutely loved that movie, and she's in that as well. Definitely check out Your Monster, I think is what it's called, if you like really goofy horror rom-com. That's the best way to describe it. Robin
alrighty
hated it.
Then so we had all that Dan and Blair talk last weekend, and we failed to mention that it was the 18th episode, which is a Dan and Blair episode. Usually.
Oh, that's right.
Because season 1 was when she stole his virginity, his scheming virginity.
Yes. Yes.
And then season 2 was the play.
Yeah, when they schemed. Yes, when they schemed against Georgina.
Yeah.
And then they had the whole thing with the play. So this one was number 18, was 2 episodes, was last week's episode, right? When they had all those sweet moments together.
Yeah, exactly.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
But God damn it, if I have to wait another year for that to happen, I'm going to be pissed.
Before we get into the episode proper, what did you think of the casting of Billy Baldwin?
I thought it was Billy. I couldn't remember which Baldwin it was. I thought it was an interesting choice. He definitely New York royalty, right? Yeah. So, although Long Island, not Upper East Side. But I thought it was an interesting choice to have a Baldwin come in. When he first walked in, I was like, when I first saw him, it was, oh, a Baldwin. And it's so funny with like the uncanny valley of Baldwin brothers when it's like, I know it's not Steven and I know it's not Alex, so it must be William. Yes. I know there's another one, but like the chances of it being that one.
Well, he does have a small Kirsten Bell connection.
Does he? Was he on Veronica Mars?
That I'm aware of, but in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, he was her partner in the fake TV show.
Right. Yes. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Now that we're to this point, we can kind of flash back to last season in the Valley Girls episode where we meet Keith Vanderwoodson, who is blonde.
Yes. Yeah.
And now this is William Vanderwoodson with dark hair.
Yeah. Yes. Now, I will say, first of all, my brother and my one sister are both from a different dad, but my sister, who is a full-blooded sister, both parents the same, blonde. I'm brown hair.
Well, yeah, no, I know that's, but a lot of people were saying Keith is William. It's the debate on that's the brother or if it was just a continuity error.
Oh, right. Yeah, I would almost think that they put that in and then they were like, nah. It almost seems like a change of mind of like, no, maybe they can be related, but let's not make that the guy. Like, let's drop the name, but now we don't really like where this is going.
Well, maybe they got Billy Baldwin and was like, okay, let's
yeah. Yeah, sorry, Rando. Well, it wouldn't have been that guy anyway.
Yeah. So we are here to talk about season 3, episode 19, Dr. Estrangeloved. Original air date was April 26, 2010, and based on the movie Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
Yes, and it's one that I've always wanted to watch and never watched for some reason. It's Peter Sellers, right?
Yes, but it's a Stanley Kubrick movie.
Yeah, right.
He co-wrote and directed it.
Yes.
As based on a novel titled Red Alert.
Yeah.
By Peter George, who also co-wrote the screenplay.
It's my understanding is it's a dark comedy.
Yes, very much so.
Yes.
Dark war comedy too. So
yeah,
a mentally unstable American general orders a hydrogen bomb attack on the Soviet Union, triggering a path to global nuclear holocaust that a war room full of politicians and generals frantically tries to stop.
Yes. Yeah. I do want to watch it, and this should make me do it. Yeah. And it's funny because I saw the next title. I didn't see anything about the next episode, but just in the queue, it's Dad World. Isn't that also a Peter Sellers movie?
Possibly. I've never seen that one.
I haven't seen that one either, but it's a mad world. Or if you're a Mighty Mighty Bosstones fan, it's a plaid world.
Yes. This episode was written by Robert Hull. He seems to have survived the recent cullings, for the moment at least. This season he wrote The Lost Boy and The Treasure of Serena Madre and The Lady Vanished. So the Treasure of Sierra Madre is definitely the highlight of the bunch there.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving episode.
Yes.
And it was directed by Darnell Martin. This is her only episode of Gossip Girl, but a ton of TV and movie credits, including, and she's one of those persons that does one episode of something and then moves on. She's done Grey's Anatomy, Oz, ER, The Walking Dead, movies like I Like It Like That, and Cadillac Records.
I've never heard of Cadillac Records.
It's the story of Chess Records.
Okay.
It's the movie. It's Beyonce playing Etta James.
Okay. I don't know of it.
Why don't you go ahead and read us that Vulture recap?
All right. If Gossip Girl has taught us anything, it's that money does not buy happiness. You'd think at least it would buy a hint of serenity. But no. Just like in real life, a palpable anxiety permeates the fictional Upper East Side, and with good reason. Our characters are constantly under siege. They cannot trust anyone but themselves. And why? Because everyone's working an angle. Even the 15-year-old Jenny can quickly turn a brief interaction into opportunity for blackmail, letting one's guard down and revealing something to someone you've known your whole life, such as Vanessa's revealing to Dan that she got into Tish and he didn't, can make you the victim of a swift undermining. And why wouldn't Lily want to tell her own husband she has cancer? Why would she prefer to create an elaborate lie in order to be treated by her ex-husband and the estranged father of her children? Because to do it any other way would make the cancer real. And the laws of the Gossip Girl universe, where trusting someone you love always leads to disaster, that twisted logic almost makes sense. But alas, trusting an outsider is even worse. Clearly, Lily's illness is not real, and clearly her ex-husband is using the information to work some kind of elaborate con. Like Chuck's mother and Gabriel before, we never thought we'd say it, but in this case, at least, the problems of the rich make all of our problems look so small. By the way, Jenny, I believe, is 16 at this point.
I think 17.
Well, they said 15 in the thing here.
Yeah, I think she's actually, because she's a junior now, and it's near the end of the season.
Yeah.
So she's probably, if not 17, pretty damn close to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a doozy, and Lily is the worst.
Yeah.
her and William deserve each other.
They do, and it's like Serena is just the genetic creation of lies and deceit.
Yes.
And it's and all I can think is that all of it was so poured into Serena. She's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger to Danny DeVito being Eric, as far as the twins of like, or like Eric has like the morality of like the Arnold Schwarzenegger to her Danny DeVito morality. like they ended up like twins, but he got all of like the actual decency that none of them have.
It's funny because in the books, Eric is older, and basically like Nate is just a clone of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're both lax bros.
Oh, that's funny. Is Eric like real like smart, or is he also just like
He's
just a Nate clone?
He's a jock, you know.
Wow. We should read the book and do a review episode when we hit 100 Patreon subscribers.
Okay, yes. We got a ways to go there.
Yep. I'm just saying, let's start making goals.
So we begin Act 1. Gossip Girl has this to say. On the Upper East Side, new days don't always bring new beginnings, but they almost always bring new surprises. Jenny and Nate are waking up like an old married couple. Jenny is pantless and wearing Serena's favorite Nate shirt. The two appear to have been spending quite a bit of time together while Serena's out of town and incommunicado. Their breakfast is interrupted by Serena texting that her plane just arrived.
So you have so much going on here with Jenny trying to clearly insert herself into Nate's life. And the absolute best part of this is when Nate's like, see ya, hair tussle.
Yeah, poor Jenny.
It's like, okay, thanks, little sis. Hair tussle, deuces.
Selective amnesia.
Yeah.
Serena and Lily are riding back home in a limo. They joke about the grunge-era love triangle that Lily is in the center of with Rufus and Dr. Daddy.
Yeah. And just, I guess now I should tell him I've been lying to him all this time. And it's right there. It's like, no wonder Serena's so fucked up. Like, no wonder Serena is so bad at relationships and at friendship and at life.
Yes, but it's such a generational thing too, because Cece is the same way.
It is the exact same way. Yes. And there's so many times that you're like, oh, Lily's not as bad as Cece, but then you're like, well,
she's getting there.
Yeah, it's it's not that she's not as bad, but
It's a timeline, not a spectrum.
yeah. And also, yeah, exactly. And at this point, we've seen Cece be a caring, nurturing mother.
Yeah.
And we
she does care in her own way.
yes. And we know enough parents on as both children and the adult, and I don't know, they're more than one thing, and relationships like that are complicated, and Lily can be really good, and then she's also but she's can also be very terrible.
Yeah.
And oh man, the one thing about her though is that it doesn't fucking faze her, that she's never fazed by it, that she brushes it all off. I really feel if Rufus were like, I can't take this is too much, I'm leaving you, goodbye, she'd be like, oh Rufus, no, don't. Okay, well, okay, now who's on tour?
Blair is picking out outfits for brunch, and she is hosting. It sounds like she has invited a bunch of single guys. Dorota is worried that Blair is rushing into things, but Dorota carries Blair's box of Chuck's mementos to throw out per Blair's orders.
This is among my favorite storylines of the episode, mostly because of how it wraps up.
Yeah.
We'll get to that scene in the end that I loved, but leading up to that, it's funny, we've had the conversation so many times of these women identifying themselves through their partners, and that Blair is now trying to reestablish herself in the dating scene and is now looking for someone new to replace Chuck. And obviously, Chuck's the reason that no one... So, at first when I'm watching this, it's like, are we doing this again? Because we've done it with Jenny twice and Blair at least once. But then I was kind of like, all right, this is what Blair does, and this is who she is, and this is how she reacts to these things. So let's see where it goes.
A couple of other things in the scene said Dorota postponed her honeymoon because she knew Blair needed her.
Yes.
And when you see Dorota look into the box and she looks at the photo, that is clearly like a cropped version of the season 2 promo shoot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That photo was awful. And the way that Blair's hair, you could see like the crop. It was not a great job. It was not a great Photoshop job. I couldn't do better. I'm not saying I could. I'm also not on Gossip Girl.
Rufus hears the elevator and thinks Lily is home, but is instantly let down when he sees it's actually Dr. Daddy, who barges right past a protesting Rufus.
That was, first of all, it's a motherfucking Baldwin, was my reaction. But Rufus just being like, you can go now. Prior to this episode, I feel like we didn't know they had history, right? That other than Lily went there and kissed him. She didn't leave Rufus for William. She left Rufus for Trent Reznor, right? That was established.
Yeah.
So that also kind of means that whatever love triangle that was probably also somewhat... We also kind of get the impression Rufus wove in and out of Lily's life quite a bit.
Yeah.
But this, again, we're jumbling the timeline a bit. It was a very active 80s and 90s for everybody, apparently.
Free love.
Yeah, free love. And this is the first time that they're like, oh, Rufus will know who he is instantly. And they set that up in the previous scene, but we've never heard of Rufus having animosity towards William until now.
Jenny is packing up when a still drunk Chuck stumbles in with a pair of women. Chuck mocks her for panting at Nate's loafers ever since Serena left town. However, he gives Jenny some advice on breaking up Nate and Serena because Chuck wants his wingman back. Jenny grabs Nate's shirt to help throw doubt on the situation.
I loved this scene so much. Like Dark Chuck coming back and just don't worry, I'm not going to remember this conversation anyway. But what if? And I love how Chuck comes in saying all this stuff about Jenny sleeping with Nate. How it's, did you finally get it? Did you finally go there? And I don't think that Chuck actually thought that they did.
No, he knows.
Yeah, because Chuck knows that Nate wouldn't do that to Serena, which he says like a minute later. But just to play with Jenny like that, to come in and like, oh, did you get what you were after? And just to push that whole thing and then be like, come on, do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I don't see what you're doing?
And everyone sees it. I just don't understand how Nate does not see it.
Robin actually said like selective something or other, basically meaning, you know, selective sight and selective.
Like he's completely forgetting all like 90% of their interactions in season 1 and 2.
Yeah, right. And I feel like the one thing where that lands is that Nate is putting her in a little sister place, which he's already demonstrated. In the past few episodes, he has made the little sister gestures. Mm. So I kind of feel...
I get that's how he sees her now, but it's just, how can he not notice that she is in love with him?
Yeah. And my point being, I think he's ignoring it. That he's pretending like it's not there, pretending that these signals are just something else because that's how they used to be anyway. I think I'm saying that he's picking up on it, but he's ignoring it. But he's pretending like it's not there.
Yeah. Just
to push her further back. And for plausible deniability when this situation occurs.
Again, if he's aware of it, then why is he spending the night with her?
Okay, that's fair too. Yeah. So maybe, or maybe he's just trying to say, nah, it couldn't be.
I know Nate's dumb, but he's not that dumb.
Nate's not used to younger women coming on to him. Jenny's not married to a duke.
She will be by the end of the series. Rufus and William are still going tit for tat when Lily and Serena arrive at the penthouse. Rufus makes a big show of kissing Lily before she realizes William is there. Serena also looks shell-shocked to see her father.
Yeah. Rufus just not being able to not be an asshole is just so funny. And Rufus, obviously you should hear this guy out. And Rufus also is clearly going to, but just needs to get every dig in. And I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, overall, I thought he was really good this episode, actually.
No,
This was the kind of rub it in his face moment, but he kind of deserved it.
Yeah. No, yes, I liked it. I kind of liked Rufus being an asshole today.
It's weird that Serena apparently didn't see William when she was in Florida or Palm Beach or wherever that was.
Right, when she found Lily and he wasn't there.
Because it definitely seemed like this was the first time she saw him.
Yeah, exactly.
But she did know he was there because Lily and Serena were talking about it in the limo.
Yeah.
So what was that explanation?
Yeah.
And we get a Gossip Girl quip as we go to the break. Paging Serena Vanderwoodson. After a lifetime in the daddy waiting room, it looks like the doctor is finally in. We move into Act 2. Back from the commercial break, Lily finally admits she was sick last summer. The scene skips past some exposition and we find out William didn't want to see Serena last summer because he didn't want to lie or break doctor-patient confidentiality. They are currently waiting on the results of Lily's 6-month checkup, but in the meantime, she wants no mention of the C word, but Cece says she'll leave when she's good and ready.
Michael, get the C word out of here. or Job, get the C word out of here. I just got here, Michael, and I'm not going anywhere. Rufus apologizing to Lily, though. Oh, I'm sorry you're going through this. And it's the right thing to do. I don't blame him for that. And for him to just set aside all of the shit and saying, we still need to talk, but I'm sorry you're going through this. That is a bigger person than me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could sit there and be like, I'm sorry you were going through this alone, when the only reason you went through it alone is because you wanted to go, and because you didn't tell me.
And he was trying to isolate you intentionally. Clearly.
Yes, which we learn. Yeah.
As Lily goes upstairs, Rufus once again tells William to GTFO, but before leaving, Dr. Daddy invites Serena to meet up and talk.
Great dadding from Rufus this episode for Serena, too.
Mm-hmm.
Not warning, not saying don't go do it, just goes up to her and says, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you good doing this? And I just thought that was such a great way for Rufus to handle it. And he has some other great handling later that I'll bring up.
If only he could be that good with Jenny.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Jenny, are you okay? That's all. Imagine just asking her that.
John Lennon should write a song about that. At the loft, Dan is reading his rejection letter from Tish to Vanessa. Apparently, a few spots for transfer students was actually only one spot. Vanessa admits that she is the one who got it, but says she wouldn't have applied if she knew there was only one spot. Dan begrudgingly congratulates Vanessa and says they should celebrate at a bushwork party tonight.
Vanessa sucks. And you didn't tell him, knowing what he was doing. And no matter how many spots are available, by entering, you are possibly going to get in over him. No matter how many spots there are. If there were 10 spots available, your spot could have been the one that took his. So, not telling him in the first place, all of this whole storyline is on you. And man, I really could not. Yeah, I was so Team Dan on this whole thing. The Dan, I thought, handled this very well for just being like, okay, let's go out tonight and let's get past this.
Yeah, he congratulates her and let's go celebrate.
Every step of the way today, Dan, I felt, made no mistakes.
He vented to the wrong person.
Yeah.
But immediately tried to stop her.
Yeah.
But she just ignored it.
Yeah. Because she wants to put the hump in Humphrey.
Lily tells Rufus that she was scared to tell him she was sick. Lily also lets slip that it was William that convinced her not to tell anyone.
That's sus.
Yeah.
Lily, it's sus.
Yeah. If someone's trying to isolate you from the people that love you,
yeah,
you might want to question the relationship.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sure on a checklist somewhere of sociopathies. That's got to be in the DSM-5 somewhere.
It's definitely a key sign of abuse of relationships. Blair is melting down to Dorota because none of her bachelors showed up at her party. Blair puts two and two together and realizes Chuck has put a dating fatwa on her.
Yes.
Is Blair flirting with a K-Water more foreshadowing of Dan and Blair?
Wow, I didn't even think of that.
He definitely looked like he had Dan's season 2 hair.
He did, and he had the Dan, brown eyes, brown hair, and
a little bit goofy.
Yeah, a little goofy. Although he seemed to be a little too into Blair.
Jenny sees Serena in the lobby and quickly untucks Nate's shirt from her bag so it's visible. The two girls exchange pleasantries, but then Serena sees the shirt. Serena is miffed, but somewhat buys Jenny's innocent act. But as the scene cuts, we see Serena pull Nate up in her contacts.
Yeah. Jenny just plays this so perfectly.
Yeah.
She doesn't lie. The only lie is, I stayed at a friend's. And when the only lie is that Nate's, she says no.
Yeah.
But then when Serena calls her on it, she's like, well, no. Nate stayed sat on the couch. Like,
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
She told 100% the truth and played it perfectly and let Serena just make the rest of it up. Yeah.
And of course, Nate has his name in his shirt.
Of course. Of course. They probably own the shirt line.
Probably useful for orgies.
Yeah.
Getting dressed afterwards.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Everyone's got a blue silk shirt.
Yeah, big campaign events.
Dan runs into Willa, who's disappointed that Vanessa got the spot over Dan. Dan lets it drop that Vanessa's submission was based on his short story from The New Yorker. Dan specifically asks Willa to let it go, but as Dan walks away, she immediately calls her board member father.
Yes. Willa, first of all, Willa's acting is so flat. It's so, Dan, did you, but also I kind of love it, because I kind of love that the woman who is playing the Nepo baby is a terrible, is meta a terrible actor. And maybe she's not. And maybe it is just like a meta thing. Maybe they are like, you're supposed to be so terrible that you can't even act human in real life.
Well, I feel like the writing and the directors probably were just telling like the actress, okay, you're a crazy stalker. Just be crazy. Be crazy.
Yeah.
It's like,
which it seems to always be the direction they give to the wild cards.
Yeah. And of course, Dan seems to be like flypaper for these crazy stalker women. You got Georgina, you got this Willa, and also the girl Amalia, who's like, overhears his name once, is like, oh, you're the guy from The New Yorker. Poor Dan.
I mean, and Vanessa for his whole life. I mean, Vanessa's been like a borderline, just the most successful stalker of
climbing
Dan.
in his windows.
Yes. Imagine the first time she did that. She's like, this is okay, right? What are you doing in my window?
She's just watching him sleep.
Yeah. This is our thing now.
Nate and Serena run into each other and immediately begin to argue. However, neither outright accuses the other of what Jenny led them to believe happened. Jenny watches behind a door with great interest.
So I found this to be super interesting because of how much it parallels, especially this time of year, 2 seasons ago, Dan and Serena and their breakup. And even when they got back together and broke up the second time, there's always this, I can't tell you, with Serena. And there's always something that she can't tell.
Yeah.
And this one particularly, she could have told everything that wasn't Lily's business. And she could have said, some of this is my mom's business, but yeah, I went looking for my dad.
Well, so part of it, from Serena's point of view, she assumes Nate got the message.
True. She assumed that she could trust Jenny and that Jenny got the message.
But also, so if either of them had made the full accusations here instead of just only like vague accusations, they could have both denied it and worked on their issues right here.
Exactly. Yes. Well, yeah.
Instead of just making like vague kind of, were you spending it alone?
Yeah. And Nate also kind of dodging that, You're right. They had an opportunity to kind of work it out right there. But then what would Jenny do for the next 20 minutes?
Well, as Jenny's watching, Gossip Girl has this to say. Prep the OR, kiddies. Looks like Jenny Humphrey's scrubbing up to surgically remove a boyfriend. Act 3 begins. Jenny is on the phone with Chuck, who is giving her the advice of getting Nate drunk and seducing him. When Jenny expresses doubts, Chuck tells her to show up with something scandalous tonight, and he will help her get Nate.
Yeah, dress like you don't have a father. Oh, Chuck, you disgusting, disgusting person.
Blair charges into the Empire Suite to confront Chuck about the fatwa. Chuck just denies, but Blair is undeterred.
And it's obvious. Mm-hmm. And we've seen all of this in other ways before. So
Dan gets a call from Willa, who says thanks to her, Vanessa is going to be rejected so Dan can get the spot. Before Dan can call it off, Willa hangs up.
Yeah, this is actually where I wrote down that she wants to put the hump in Humphrey. But like,
oh, we already kind of knew that. I mean,
yeah. Oh, I know. But like every time she's on, it's like the D and Dan. It's like she's, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. At Serena's meeting with Dr. Daddy, he is trying to pick up where things left off when Serena was 4. Serena rightfully calls him out for being an absentee parent for the past 14 years.
Yeah.
Should have stuck to your guns, Serena.
Yeah, I didn't. It was sort of a, what are you looking for here, Serena? But like, although I do feel like that has to be such a confusing time for her. I really did feel for her, even though I found her a little frustrating at times. But I also can imagine her feeling so frustrated. Yeah, because because you see her go from like, oh, like you're saying the right thing to instantly like, well, oh, is that what it was? Because you're kind of seeing, she has these two lenses that she's looking through. Like, I'm glad you're here, but also fuck you. So I thought that she played that. I really liked how she was written in this.
Mm-hmm. Dan and Vanessa are at the cafe, and it looks like Dan is going to tell her about Willa, but not before Vanessa pulls out her submission, which in fact was not plagiarized. Vanessa is going back to the dorm while Dan reads the story, and then they are just going to skip the party.
This means that Vanessa is legit a better writer than Dan in the Gossip Girl universe. Or at least a better playwright than Dan. Yeah. By one. It was down to the two of them. But now, thinking,
at least it's just one play, and
right.
That's definitely not Dan's strong suit.
Right. It's just I thought that was very interesting that this is an original submission, that this isn't based on something Dan did.
I don't really knock Dan for that because again, Dan is just trying something new, but Vanessa's clearly been involved in theater and film in the past, so it's
definitely screenwriting.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Dan is like, oh yeah, just like you crushed my dreams. At one point in this, he's like, oh, you're going to crush my dreams. It's only been a dream to get into the theater school for like 5 episodes, Dan. 3 episodes. Yeah. So let's tone it down on that a little bit.
Dr. Daddy explains that he was busy saving the world with Doctors Without Borders and that he wanted to bring the family with him, but Lily divorced him.
That scans. That sounds like Lily's MO. Like Tuesday to Friday. Sorry, we can't do that.
Well, the plan was for everyone to move to Budapest, but he was getting settled first, and she couldn't wait that long.
Yeah.
She needs a warm bed.
Yep.
Lily.
Oh, Lily. Handcuff her and Rufus together.
William gets up to talk to Rufus when he spots him at the front desk. Rufus once again tells William it's time for him to leave. William gives the "I'm a changed man" speech, but Rufus isn't buying. Rufus quickly puts his temper under wraps when Serena walks up, and Serena leaves with Rufus.
Yeah, I loved. Again, Rufus just instant dick, just like coming at his neck. Right. But also he was like, I've got my towels thing. Fucking asshole. Yeah. No, but the way that Serena comes up and says like, I'll leave with Rufus, and how Rufus's demeanor changed as soon as Serena was there.
Yeah.
That it was, my beef is with him, but I'm not. This doesn't involve you.
And he goes into it further in the next scene. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I was actually going to mention that when we get to it, because that's hard. It's really hard to do.
Dan is leaving a message for Willa to call off the hounds, but is interrupted by Blair. Blair invites herself to the Bushhook party in her quest to find a man that isn't socially astute enough to fear the long bass arm. Dan changes plans again because he needs to get to the party to talk to Willa.
Blair going to Dan for help finding a man. I liked it. I like where the implications behind this.
So earlier this season, when Blair walks in on Dan and Georgina, she like rips off the glove and throws it away from her.
Yeah.
This scene, as she gets up, she kind of gives Dan a nice little pat on the shoulder.
Yeah?
I don't know if you caught that.
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah, like as she gets up, she pats him on the shoulder.
Interesting.
Definitely warming up to the Humphrey charm.
Yes. Yeah.
Rufus and Serena are walking back to the penthouse, and Rufus is being a good guy for once. He advises Serena to not let the tension between him and William influence her relationship with Dr. Daddy. As they get further into the apartment, Lily is getting off the phone with William and tells Rufus and Serena that the results are not what they hoped.
Yeah, I really loved Rufus here.
Yeah.
I love that he's like, I have my own issues with him, but he's your dad. Don't let my stuff cloud your stuff.
Definitely great episode for Rufus.
Yeah. That absolutely the right thing to do. He didn't said all of the exact right things with Serena in this episode, and I loved it.
And you notice how Jenny says, I haven't talked to Dad at all today.
Yeah.
Didn't give him an opportunity to screw up.
Yep. You're going to be a great dad just as long as you ignore one of your own children.
At the Empire Suite, Chuck is already being tipped off that Blair is going to the Bushhook party. As Chuck hangs up the phone, a forlorn-looking Nate walks into the suite. Nate is still mad at Chuck for what he did to Blair, but Chuck easily manipulates him. Chuck convinces him that all the partying is just a smokescreen for missing Blair. He invites Nate to have a drink with him and get out of the city for the night. Looks like the guys will be getting a guided tour of Brooklyn from none other than Little J.
So first we have Chuck keeping tabs on Blair. We open with that. I liked that Nate came in and went at Chuck. You know what you did to Blair. You know it was wrong. I wish he would have had a little bit more conviction and not just been like, okay, well, I'll drink with you. But I get Chuck, like, look, it's all a smokescreen. I just miss her.
Well, I think from Nate's point of view, like, he thought Chuck just didn't care. And he did this horrible thing and didn't care at all. He's just out partying. But then he realized, okay, yeah, Chuck is trying to just hide his pain.
He's hurting, yeah.
And then we go to Act 4. The unlikely trio of Dan, Vanessa, and Blair arrive at the party. Blair brags that she will be kissing some rando and have broken Chuck's fatwa by the end of the night. Vanessa follows Blair to keep her out of trouble, and Dan spots Willa. Blair wearing Vanessa's clothes.
I loved that so much. Because early on, she says, like, I'll have to see if Vanessa has a serape that I can borrow.
Yeah.
And then she shows up where, and Vanessa even makes the comment of, I don't want her spilling anything on my pleather pants.
Yeah.
I thought she looked good, like, because I like when Blair looks different than her typical outfits that she's wearing. I love that. And I think that I thought she looked great in Vanessa's clothes.
Jenny, Nate, and Chuck also arrive. Jenny goes ahead to the bar while Chuck and Nate hang back. Nate says they shouldn't have brought Jenny because she's just a kid, but Chuck points out that she is older than Nate when he and Serena got drunk and had sex in the Campbell apartment.
Here's another thing with Nate and his view of Jenny, which I also think kind of legitimizes the big brother aspect, and it's that I feel that Nate, when he graduated high school and now he's in college, views himself as this college kid. So high school stuff just seems so young. He had wanted nothing to do with any of Blair's shit this year. He pretty much kept away from her and any kind of high school schemes and shit. So I think there's also that level of, because right here when he says she's just a kid, and Chuck does point out, well, that's how old you were, but like, she's in high school. I'm in college. That is a difference.
Yeah, I guess. Just, yeah. It was less than a year ago. You were trying to make out with her.
Yeah.
Pickling. So the Campbell apartment, I don't know if we talked about this back in the pilot, but that scene where they shot the sex scene with Nate and Serena.
Yeah.
That's an actual, it's called the Campbell. It's at Grand Central Terminal.
Right. Because it was in a bar. Is that like...
Yeah, it's an actual bar.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Ironically, it is on Vanderbilt Avenue.
Oh, interesting. I had told you that I actually went to the Upper East Side this weekend that my friend was in from out of town. I was like, let's go to New York. And yeah, bring your daughter too. So we did a little bit on the Upper East Side of like Central Park and a little bit of Fifth Avenue. But when we came out of Central Park, right there was Nate's apartment from season 1.
See, if you would have went on Friday, you could have gone and met Bart Bass.
Oh, really?
He would serve you hot dogs on Fire Island.
I didn't realize. Was he doing a thing, or was
he does it every year? He's a volunteer fireman.
Oh yeah, I think I knew that. Yeah, I've heard that he's just like an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Also, and I posted on our TikTok when I was watching Last of Us, and he was there cooking.
Mm-hmm. Bigot sandwiches.
Yeah.
Blair has already met a guy from Colombia, and the pair are flirting. When Blair spots Chuck across the room, she pretends to get lightheaded, so the new guy, Cameron, has to hold her.
Yeah, okay, Blair, we see what you're doing.
And the guy clearly sees too.
Yeah, and that guy also clearly
really
sees
care.
what you're doing, and he's fine with it.
Yeah.
Which that should tell you something.
Dan tells Willa to call her father because Vanessa submitted an original piece. Willa says it's already a done deal and that Dan can thank her later. She leans in for the kiss, but Dan pulls away, and Dan and Jenny momentarily catch each other's eye lines.
I'm with Vanessa. You're with Vanessa? What are you, 40? Like,
and then she calls Jenny a slut.
Yeah. Not your best look right here, Willa.
Yeah, it's not going to win Dan over. Dan goes after Jenny, who says she is fine and hanging out with Chuck and Nate. Jenny questions Dan on what he was doing with Willa before walking away. Dan sees Vanessa and Willa talking together.
Why do you go 0 to blackmail? Dan said to Jenny when she turns it around, how did you just go 0 to blackmail in 60 seconds? I was just asking, Dan, but again, Jenny just played that so well.
I forgot to mention on the couple scenes back when when Chuck and Nate are talking about Jenny, I really did not like the way Chuck was looking at Jenny.
Oh, no. I never liked how Chuck looked at Jenny.
And what that implies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gross.
Dr. Daddy is explaining the situation to Lily, Rufus, and Serena. Rufus wants a second opinion, but when William says he is staying regardless, Serena suggests they stick with him. Lily agrees. William has already cured her once, and he's family.
You are in the best city in the world for medical care, and you have unlimited funds. You don't think it's a good idea to have a second doctor look at you? It's a second opinion. It's another doctor coming in and saying, hey, let's run those. Let me look at those numbers too. Let me look at those samples.
Lily.
Yeah, and also, being family is exactly why he shouldn't be your doctor. It's a conflict of interest. Yes. It's like against ethical codes.
Indeed. Serena calls Nate to tell him what's going on, but when she hears Jenny in the background, they just get into another argument. Yeah,
and once again, Nate makes a little blunder in this. I forget exactly what he says, but he says the one thing that gets Serena irritated. But Serena, fucking chill. You're constantly keeping secrets from everybody. Like, chill.
Chuck is staring daggers across the room at Blair and Cameron. Jenny comes up in a huff and saying his plan sucks. Chuck urges patience, which pays off because Nate invites Jenny back to the suite to get hammered.
Yeah. Blair and this Columbia guy are kind of cute.
Yeah. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. He's
a rebound guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I dug where this was going.
And then we get from Gossip Girl. Spotted. Nate Archibald suffering from a broken heart. Too bad he doesn't realize Jenny's oath is less Hippocratic and more hypocrite. We go into Act 5. Blair and Cameron are still flirting. Cameron reveals that he saw right through her game, but he is willing to kiss her to help make Chuck jealous. The two lean in for the kiss when the scene cuts.
Yeah, we don't really ever know if they actually kissed or not.
I don't think they did.
Because I kind of wondered if either A, she pulled back, or B, kissed him and then stopped. But there's implications she didn't when how she says, I will kiss someone.
Yeah, I don't think she did.
Yeah, I don't think she did.
But at this point, it kind of leaves it up to the mystery.
Right. And the thing I like about that mystery is that if she kissed him, it was so inconsequential that it didn't deserve to be on screen.
Yeah.
And I think that alone says so much about that kiss. So I really like how they shot that.
Dan is chasing down Vanessa, who is on her way out of the party. Dan admits that he gave Willis some bad information, but that he didn't ask her to speak to her dad. The pair start to blow up, but reel things back in by expressing their feelings to each other. This is not enough, however, as the two still walk away from each other.
Yeah, and more, I felt like this wasn't that they walked away from each other, but this was Vanessa storming off. And I don't think she deserves this storm off. This was Dan's storm off. For her to be like, oh, I don't know how you would handle it, but not like this. Like what? What has Dan done at all? He vented to a friend and she's fucking nuts and went and did something.
Yeah, but remember, Vanessa doesn't have the whole picture.
No, she doesn't, but she's also not sticking around to listen. And she's not sticking around to hear him out when she's the one who put them in this situation by being dishonest and not telling Dan from the start what she was doing. Yeah. Like, again, it's all, none of this would be like this if Vanessa wasn't the one who was an asshole and a liar and she sucks and Dan deserved to storm off, not her. I wish he would have chased her down and been like, Vanessa, wait. Okay, thanks. And then stormed off himself.
Serena is saying goodnight to Dr. Daddy, who apologizes for being absent, but admits he was following her attempts at getting attention last summer. He again apologizes for all the lost time, and Serena agrees to give him a second chance. William uses this opportunity to begin subtly driving a wedge between Serena and Rufus.
Yeah, this was a weird moment, I felt. Just uncomfortable father-daughter moment that, like, I feel like was supposed to be touching, but just felt uncomfortable.
I don't really think I think they were trying to show that he's manipulating Serena.
Yeah. Right. Well, I feel like they were trying to make him seem fatherly.
I thought he was trying to make him seem fatherly.
Right.
But the scene was telling the audience that no,
he don't trust him.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I'm wording things wrong. My mouth brain is not lining up on what I'm trying to say here.
Chuck and Blair meet up at the party. Chuck admits to the fatwa, but Blair says she didn't kiss Cameron out of her own choice. She did love Chuck, but he broke her heart, and she says that she will kiss someone someday. But when she does, it will be for herself.
I loved this scene.
It's a great scene.
It is peak Blair. It is Blair owning herself. It is Blair in all of her power. I absolutely loved that speech. I loved that I'll kiss someone one day. Fantastic. I loved that scene.
Back at the suite, Jenny is making her move, but is rejected yet again just as Serena enters. Jenny. Getting really pathetic in this episode.
Yeah, just really crashed at the end. At the end here, just completely crashed.
So we get the Gossip Girl blast. In case you've never heard one before, that's the sound of a relationship flatlining.
That's right. I forgot that there was a break there.
And then we get the epilogue, and then even though Nate and Serena clearly have a lot of issues to work out, Jenny's plan is an abject failure, and Nate kicks her out of the suite so he can have it out with Serena.
Yeah, and Yeah, this is where I really like that Nate just wasn't having it. That when Serena's like, I left the message with Jenny. You did not. Get the fuck out. Get out of here, kid.
Yeah.
And I think that if nothing else, that really solidifies okay, I'm not doing the high school shit. Get out.
Mm-hmm. But, that's what I was saying last episode. Why? You know how this is going to end, Jenny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, he's going to find out.
Yeah. And he doesn't like that shit. He doesn't play it.
Which, it just seems so out of character for Jenny.
I agree. That Jaden said this last week or 2 weeks ago, that they just really kind of did Jenny dirty in this storyline.
Yeah. And it just would have been so much better if they were just hanging out as friends. And Nate was conflicted a little bit. He was still being a good guy. He was not crossing the line, but he was
conflicted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been a much better storyline.
Yeah.
Blair arrives home to find Dorota never threw out the Chuck memento box. However, Blair admits that he will always be a part of her. It just hurts right now.
And Dorota already has the bread to take to the ducks, which is actually really bad for the ducks. Feeding bread to ducks can kill them.
Yeah.
But it was also just a great Dorota Blair moment. Just so sweet. Great episode for Blair.
Serena tells Nate that she does trust him, but admits that she may have been taking him for granted. She tells Nate that Lily is sick.
I really like how this ended up, and how Serena was explaining, I needed to talk to my mom before I could talk to you about this, so let's talk about it. And of course, good guy Nate is going to be there for her when she tells him all of this. Mm-hmm. She sucks, Nate, but I get it. She's probably still good for you.
A heartbroken Blair goes through the box of mementos and has flashbacks to her relationship with Chuck.
Aw. You got to heal, Blair. You got to heal. That's all there is to it.
Does feel very final.
Yeah. Yeah. There's also 3 seasons left.
Rufus and Lily cuddle on the couch. A grumpy Rufus is forcing himself to be supportive.
Yeah, they seem in a decent place right now. So
Rufus is a good guy. He's going to be there for Lily through this hard time.
Exactly.
Dan leaves an apology voicemail to Vanessa while simultaneously praising her play. Vanessa immediately deletes the voicemail.
Such an asshole. Like, why are you this, like, you without hearing him out, and you're this mad. And you're this mad that someone else did something. So, like, God, fuck Vanessa. Dan, you're so much better than her. Dan, you're better than her.
We see William talking to someone on the phone, and it's clear from the conversation that something shady is going on with Lily's treatment.
Yeah. What are you up to, William? What are you up to?
And Gossip Girl ends the episode with a monologue. To revive a struggling relationship, there comes a point where we must stop protecting what we have to allow for what we truly need. Moving forward can mean reaching out, reaching back, or reaching balance. And while new journeys can start with a single step, they can end just as quickly with a single misstep. And when even the healthiest relationship finds itself on life support, it's important to remember, on the Upper East Side, sometimes the wrong prescription is just what the doctor ordered. XO, XO, Gossip Girl. That is our episode. What's coming next?
Well, I'm worried there's going to be a pursuit of Jenny from Chuck at some point. There's Chuck is already saying, no, she's not too young. Chuck's already given her the eye. I want them to speed things up with Dan and Blair. I want Vanessa to, go away. But I really want that finalized. Like, I want this breakup done. I think Nate and Serena are going to find new drama in a couple episodes, but I think they might be okay. But I think there's going to be a bigger focus on this fucking Rufus Lily William thing, which that maybe it'll be interesting.
Who do you think Doctor was talking to?
I kind of assumed unknown third party, but otherwise, I mean, I guess it could be Cece, or I guess it could be one of her other husbands.
The League of Ex-Boyfriends?
The League of Ex-Boyfriends conspiring. Rufus, you will become one of us. We are on the verge of recruiting a new member. Rufus Humphrey. He does not belong amongst us, but he will eventually.
Anything else?
I think that's my big ones right now.
Let's get into segments. We jumped into the Wayback Machine to travel to the fan forums from 2010.
Hello there, Peabody here. And this is the Wayback Machine for traveling through time. And this is my boy, Sherman. Speak, Sherman.
Hello.
Good boy.
Overall, the impression was okay, but seemed like a filler episode to set up the final arc of the season.
Yeah, which I'm not mad at that. Because it wasn't a nothing episode. Like, it was a very expository episode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. They do mention him in the episode, but it would have been nice to see Eric meeting his father.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they do mention he was at debate team something or other.
Yeah.
Still not happy with Jenny, but at least some people were acknowledging Nate's selective amnesia when it came to their fling in season 2.
Yes. Yes.
Dan and Vanessa continue to bore.
Yep.
Dan and Blair continue to intrigue.
Yes.
Some people were shipping Lily and William.
No.
But most of them are bored of the parent drama.
Yes.
And oddly, some fans wished Bart was still alive.
Sometimes.
That is it for this week in fandom. Let's get over to episode grades. Steve, what do you got this week?
I went with a B. I felt like it was a solid down the middle. It was a good episode. It wasn't great. Had great moments. Had what the fuck are you doing moments, writing wise. I do feel like this one felt like it did have a weird kind of turn to it, that you kind of felt that writer's flip. Like you see this, like you said, it's a setup for these future episodes. So all in all, I liked it. I gave it a B.
Yes, there's 3 episodes left in the season.
Yeah.
20, 21, and 23. I gave this episode a C+. Definitely a step down from the last couple episodes. The only big thing was really that we got to meet William. The Vanessa and Dan stuff continues to bore. And yeah, you had the fun scene with Blair and Dan, but it doesn't seem to really be going anywhere fast.
Yeah.
Seems to be more set up for down the line.
Yeah. I feel like I was more on board with the Dan Vanessa storyline because they're finally fucking it up. Like there's finally an actual real drama that instead of like the bullshit they've had leading up to it.
But yeah, C+. Moving over to Stockwatch, who do you got going up?
I have Blair going up for gaining her power in the end. I have Nate and Serena going up for getting back together. I have William going up for having some kind of bullshit scheme going on in the background. I have Rufus going up for being a good dad to Serena. And I have Dorota going up for being a good mom to Blair.
For me, I had Blair going up because she seems to be moving on in a healthy way. Dr. Daddy because his scheme seems to be working. Dorota because she was a great supportive friend. And Rufus because he was a good dad to Serena, as you said.
Yeah.
Who do you got going down?
I had both Dan and Vanessa going down. Dan losing out on Tish and Vanessa just losing out on being a good person. I have Chuck going down because he's spiraling. I had Jenny going down because she got kicked the fuck out. And I have Lily going down because she's getting played by William. And then I have Willa going down because she did not get that dandy.
For me, yeah, Vanessa going down because she's an asshole. Jenny because she is just failing left and right here. I had Serena and Nate going down because Serena was being dumb again, and Nate was a little like the selective amnesia, and he was dishonest about spending the night with another girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, not a great episode for either of them. It was not horrible, but not, yeah, definitely down for me. Chuck, because as you said, he is spiraling. Dan, because he lost out on Tish. Willa, because she lost out on Dan. And Lily, because she may have cancer again.
Yeah. And if nothing else, she either has cancer again or she's getting played.
But I think she kind of wants to get played because she likes the drama.
She loves the drama. Just so she can go, oh, Rufus. But here's the best outfits from the last episode we've seen.
Who do you have for best outfit?
I already praised it. I gave it, and this is actually a split because I'm giving a half a point to Blair and a half a point to Vanessa because it was Blair in Vanessa's clothes.
For me, I had Blair's black dress with the sequin gold bow on the front by Marc Jacobs.
Oh, nice.
And the pearl necklace.
Yeah.
From her little brunch.
Yeah.
That is it for segments. You got anything to plug this week?
We are still casting some parts in Best of This. So it is a movie that is going to be shot this fall in Southeast Pennsylvania. So if you are interested in auditioning, go ahead and get in touch with the pod and I can send you the information. Outside of that, I don't think I really have anything coming up. I have been listening to Still, the podcast, with friend of the pod, Danielle Joy. I was trying to think of her co-host name too, but I guess she's not really a friend of the pod yet. But, but yes, Danielle Joy was on here a few weeks ago, and she has a great podcast that talks about the issues that women are still dealing with in the film and theater industry.
Indeed. Great podcast. Check it out. Nothing really specific for me to plug this week, but if you want to follow me on social media, you can find me at Hot Capicola. That's HOTCAPICOLA. And if you want to follow the podcast, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, at Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. You can also find links to our subreddit, our Discord server, and Patreon on our webpage, nonjudgingbreakfastpod.com.
And if you would like to get in touch with us, we would love to hear what you have to say. Please feel free to send us an email at nonjudgingbreakfastpod@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear your thoughts, maybe even read them here on the show. While you're listening, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like or subscribe or follow button, and while you're at it, leave us a comment. That really helps with our visibility in Spotify and on Apple Podcasts.
And next week, we will be back to talk about Season 3, Episode 20. It's a dad world. The episode description reads, Will's return to the Upper East Side continues to stir up problems for Serena, Lily, and his long-standing rival, Rufus.
Bum, bum, bum.
Well, until next time, you know you love us.
XOXO. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Oh, it seems I'm walking right to your door. My heart's still resting, looking for something more. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Never feels right when I'm out here on my own. I left last night and it feels like way too long. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Come back to me. Smile and you'll make my life complete. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me